Hello, singers. Welcome to Lesson 2. There are 4 objectives that we will cover in this lesson. Number 1, expanding the range of the voice. Number 2, erase not only the breaks as in Lesson 1, but smooth over the transition between vocal registers. Number 3, take even more tension off the voice. And finally, a new objective. Number 4, begin lowering the larynx, which will A, get rid of tension, B, make the tone quality richer, and C, cancel out the swallowing muscles which interfere in the tone-making process. Here we go. Exercise number 1 is a hum on a 5-tone scale. This is just like in lesson number 1, except the tempo is faster. I'll start you out, and then you join in at your most comfortable starting pitch. A flat below middle C, middle C, E above middle C, and finally G above middle C. Exercise number 2 is lip rolls on an octave scale. You will notice that this time the exercise is a little more difficult because the tempo is faster. Again, since we've already done this exercise, I will start you out on the first scale and then you join in. Ready? Let's begin. Starting with the basses. E above middle C, watch your posture, bend over if it gets too tight, A flat above middle C, the male high C, E above high C and E below a woman's high C, A flat, woman's high C, E above the woman's high C, A flat, and finally C above high C. Excellent. Coming back down. A flat. E above the woman's high C again. woman's high C. A flat. E. High C. A flat. E. Now keep your posture. Make sure you're breathing and relax. You're almost done. Middle C. And finally, with the low note being a bass low G. Way to go! Exercise number 3 is tongue trill on an octave. This, too, is a repeat from lesson number 1. And it's really just a part of your daily warm-up. Remember, I'll start and you join in. Ready? Let's begin. E above middle C. A flat below high C for the males. Finally, the male's high C. E above high C. A flat. Just allow yourself to go higher. Don't force it. Don't push. Woman's high C. E above a woman's high C. You're doing wonderful. Have you surprised yourself yet? Relax, let go and allow. A flat. C above high C for the women. And back down. A flat. E above the woman's high C. The women's high C. A flat. above a male high C. The male high C. A flat. Middle C. Exercise number 4 is lip rolls on a long scale. This is a 1.5 octave scale. The pattern of notes going down is different from the pattern of notes going up. Therefore, it gives you a circular feeling so that you don't feel like you're working upwards. Instead, you feel like you're singing in a circle. Listen. Notice how it feels very circular. I'll do it again. One more time so that you get used to it. The long scale alleviates the feeling of reaching. If the voice gets too tight, this exercise can be sung bending at the waist, just like we did in lesson number 1. This exercise will take you from chest to mix to head voice in a single scale because it covers such a great distance. And you'll find it even easier to sing higher notes because the scale gives you a running start at it. Listen as I take a male and female singer through this exercise.
Hear how he takes a run at it. No pushing, no pulling. And here's his high C. No strain.
Now we introduce a female singer. And now she heads to her second bridge. And she made it to her second bridge. And now she's heading into her third bridge up towards high C. Chest, mix, head, mix, chest. Notice how the tone thins out and releases. Way to go, that's high C. Notice how it sounds like she's climbing into a head voice above head voice. The tone keeps thinning. She releases. Next bridge. You hear that small place she goes into? It's a discovery process. So even if you break, and you're going into a thinner coordination, Allow your voice to go where it wants to. That's it. And C above high C. Way to go. Now it's your turn. Make sure you do not sing higher than you can comfortably and freely, starting with the basses. From an A up to E and back down to A. A flat, the male high C, E above the male high C, A flat, the female high C, E above the female high C, A flat, and finally C above high C, and then back down. A flat above a woman's high C, E above high C, the women's high C, A flat, E above the male high C, and now the male high C. A flat, E, down to a bass low G. Exercise number 5 is a tongue trill on a long scale. Exercise number 5 is just like exercise number 4, except this time with the tongue trill. Listen as I take the singers through the exercise.
See how easily he releases into his head voice. It's like he's drifting upwards. And the circular scale alleviates any feeling of reach or strain.
And now the female singer. Chest, mix, head, mix, chest. Chest, mix, head, mix, chest. And now she's into her high C. And it's the same as last time. She thins and releases. Here she is through her fourth bridge. Now notice the thinning as she heads to her fifth bridge. That little sound you're hearing is her vocal cord zipping up all the way to the C above high C. And there it is. Now it's your turn, starting with the basses. From B flat, bass B flat, up to the F above middle C, B to F sharp, C to G, and so on. And now we'll just call out the high notes. High C, E, A flat, high C, E above the female high C, that's it. Don't sing too high too soon. Only go up if it's comfortable. A flat, and finally C above high C, and back down. A flat, E, high C, A flat, E, C, A flat, E, Whew, now that's a workout. If you're feeling a little tired, you may want to take a break, get a drink of water, just rest your voice for a few minutes, and we'll see you after a short break. Welcome back to lesson number 2. I hope you're feeling refreshed. Exercise number 6 is nay, nay, nay on a long scale. Exercise number 6 sounds like this: nay, nay, nay. Unlike lesson number 1, this time nay, nay, nay is a little less whiny because now we're moving more towards speech level. If we were singing on speech level, this exercise would sound like this: nay, 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 nay. But we're going to be singing it slightly nasty. Nay, 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 nay. Again, it's not like lesson number 1 when you said nay, 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 nay. That extra whiny sound was just a little something special to keep you connected through your bridge. Now we're going to back off that and move closer and closer towards speech level each lesson as you get comfortable with your bridge. Listen as I take 2 singers through the exercises.
Notice how right away the nay sound is at almost speech level. He uses just enough cry to keep his vocal cords together. Now the B flat coming up is where his resonance splits. Half in the mouth and half in the head. And now he's crossed his second bridge into high C.
And now the female demonstration. And listen to the approach to her second bridge. The F she just hit is a split. Part of it in the mouth, part of it in the head. And the A is her third bridge, so it lightens up a little. And there's a B flat in a mix, a popular sound. Way to go. Now it's your turn, starting with the basses. From bass A to E above middle C. A flat, the male high C, E, that's right, just keep a cry on it, not too much. Don't push and bend over at the waist if it gets difficult. A flat, B flat, which is about as high as you want to go in this coordination, and then back down. E above the male high C, and the male high C. A flat, hang in there, you're almost done. E, excellent. Exercise number 7 is mum 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 on an octave scale. Exercise number 7 sounds like this. Mum mum mum. The mum sound has the function of bringing the larynx down. Notice when I say nay, the larynx is already fairly high. It's kind of a whiny sound. Or if I say, all in favor say nay, with a nasty sound, the larynx will come up even more, especially if you exaggerate. But with mum, any natural exaggeration tends to bring the larynx down, like this. Mum, 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 mum. Now you don't want to say mum, 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 and break into falsetto. So again, this is where the cry comes in. Remember, singers, great singers sometimes sound like a released cry. Ha! Ha! That's what you hear with the greatest singers on the radio and the greatest singers of all time. It sounds like they're crying on pitch, but without over-squeezing or over-compressing their vocal cords. This is another secret of singing, because the overtones that you hear underneath that cry are more intense and much more rich. The mum 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 will cancel out the high larynx of the nay 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 while keeping the vocal cords together so you don't disconnect. So it is a slight imposition or lowering in the larynx, but not a forced lowering of the larynx. The slight imposition will eventually be abandoned as you grow closer and closer to speech level singing. Do not despise the nay, 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 nay. It is just a temporary conditioning exercise to get your vocal cords to zip up or shorten in length through your bridges. But with the mum, the tone will eventually be produced in the same manner as when you are speaking. Why do we bring the larynx down? To better understand, place your fingertip on your Adam's apple. Find it. It's the little notch at the top of your neck. You'll feel a little bump. Women, it's harder to find, but men, you'll find it's more prominent. It's the top notch, not the bottom. There's two, so don't get confused. Now swallow. Feel how the larynx goes up? Now swallow again and notice how tight the throat gets. Ouch, tight, isn't it? There is no way you can sing effectively in this coordination, because the tendency to sing with a high larynx can cause a host of problems, including excess cord tension, pulling up chest voice, which is like yelling. If you notice, if you say, hey, hey, the larynx goes up. Put your hand on your Adam's apple and do it. Notice that yelling sensation pulls up the larynx, causing excess muscle tension. And it introduces the swallowing muscles into the vocal cord adjustment process. In other words, it's like trying to sing and swallow at the same time. You can't do it. Now yawn and feel how relaxed the throat is and how much the larynx drops. Feel that? But it's without force. The larynx drops without force. It's a yawn-like tone. It's relaxing. It's easy. And it thickens up the tone. Because if I say, hi, with a high larynx, it's whiny. If I drop my larynx, hi, in a yawn-like tone, hi. Notice the tone gets richer. No, I'm not going to sing like this, but it's conditioning this out of my voice. You see, when the larynx is high, the space between your vocal cords and your mouth and head cavity is shortened. It's like singing through a short megaphone and ending up with a kind of a mousy tone. But when you sing with your larynx down, you lengthen the clearance between the vocal cords and the resonance cavities of the mouth, the back of the throat, and the head. This maximizes your God-given individualistic acoustic cabinet in your head. That's what it is. It's an acoustic cabinet. Resonating in your head, it's the thumbprint that makes you an individual. It's like singing through a longer megaphone. Very simple. As you do this exercise, you don't want to force your larynx down. Just make a slightly dumb or dopey sound like this. Muh. Muh. Don't overdo it like this. Muh. Muh. Also, you don't want to say ma, 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 ma and spread that vowel, but just keep saying mum, mum, mum as you go up. Now, that slightly dopey sound underneath the mum, it will condition a feeling of release as you pass up and through your bridges. It's incredible. It feels so relaxing. It almost gets easier as you go higher. This is what speech level singing is all about. Listen as I take a male singer through this exercise. Ma 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 ma. Ma 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 ma.
Here's the approach to his first bridge. He keeps a cry on it and his larynx down. Notice how he releases into his head. Here he is at A, his second bridge. And now high C. Absolutely no breaks. Listen how easily the tone releases. The higher it goes, the easier it sounds. Third bridge. And now he's in a headier quality. Wow, G above high C.
Now let's hear the female singer. Here's her first bridge. And notice how even and effortless she makes it right through that first bridge up to the C. Now she heads into her second bridge. Notice how even and effortless. Absolutely no sign of transition. Now that's her third bridge all the way up to a B flat. Way to go. Now it's your turn. Be sure you don't sing higher than you can comfortably and freely. Starting with middle C for the high note. Make sure you keep it dumb. A dopey da ma ma ma. E above middle C. If it gets difficult at all, bend over at the waist. Especially for this exercise, that bend really helps to keep the larynx down. Take a good breath. High C. E above the male high C, which is E below the female high C. And finally a B flat, and back down. Check your breathing and your posture. Make sure you just stay relaxed. Don't do anything different in your mouth. Just keep that dum da attitude. E above a male high C. Male high C. A flat, you're doing wonderful. Hang in there. E above middle C. Make sure you don't say ma'am, say mum the whole time. You've got it. Middle C, which is the top of the first bridge for the basses. Exercise number 8 is mum 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 on a long scale. Exercise 8 is just like exercise 7, but on a long scale. Listen as I take our singers through the exercise. Mum 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 mum. Ma 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 ma.
Hear how he leans down on his larynx to get through his first bridge. Second bridge. Hear the tone split behind the soft palate, so the low larynx releases his voice.
And now the female demonstration. And now she heads to the F, which is where her resonance splits. To the G, second bridge. Here's the A, her third bridge, and B flat. Way to go. Now it's your turn. Make sure that you employ the method of bending over at the waist to release the high notes if it gets too difficult. Starting with the basses. From a bass low A up to E above middle C. Make sure you say mum. Keep the larynx down by employing that duh sound. Don't overdo it. It's just a slight imposition. A flat. Notice how as you take a run at it using this long scale, it should feel very even and relaxed. High C. E above the male high C. Okay, women, allow the tone to go a little more heady. You'll still have some presence of mix, but it'll be slightly heady. A flat. And finally B flat, which is the highest you want to take a mixed voice. And back down. E. And remember to keep the vowel pure. Muh, muh. High C. Excellent. This is really paying off. You're already feeling the benefits. A flat. E, down to a bass low A. Excellent. Now let's go to the warm down. Exercise 9 is warming down, starting with a yawn and going down into vocal fry. This is just another technique to warm down the voice, simply by using a yawn. This exercise will also help to erase breaks and relax the voice after singing live or singing or pushing the voice beyond comfort. Simply start at the top of your most comfortable range and just yawn. Now bring that yawn sound down to the bottom of your chest voice until you just drift into vocal fry like this. Now notice I didn't go into falsetto like this, which was very difficult to connect, but I went up into my head voice. Not only will this develop a stronger connection from chest to head voice and head to chest voice, just yawning as you go up, and yawning as you come back down, but it will relax your voice going through your bridges so that you don't take the strain of chest voice up, and then you don't feel discomfort going from head down into chest voice. You don't want to say, trying to find your chest voice. Just drift down into it. In time, you will have a seamless voice. No disconnects, no inconsistencies. Well, way to go, singers. You've just completed lesson 2. Get a drink of water and relax at least 15 minutes before you attempt to sing. You may even want to give yourself a day of rest after this lesson because new muscular coordinations are being used, and you need to take special care that you do not fatigue these new coordinations.